Welcome viewers to the episode number 11 on the leadership lecture series. We started talking about the history of Ajakuta last episode, and we have seen that contrary to what our friends, our traditional friends, Canadian consultant that said that there would be a glut of the steel market up to the year 2000. And Gawan decided to try the Russians, who are our new friends. You remember, it was only the Russians. Yes, it was only the Russians and the Egyptians who actually helped us win the Civil War. So he said, why not try our new friends? And the Russians came in and gave a preliminary study that showed that, yes, it was possible for Nigeria to produce steel because we had the raw materials. So now Gawan decided to ask them to do a detailed study of the steel sector, steel prospects. And based on that, Nigerian Steel Development Authority was created. And they were asked to go with the Russians and do a detailed study of the steel possibility of producing steel. At the end, of course, it took Gawan so long, but in the end, they came out with the results of the detailed study. And based on that, Ajakuta Steel Company was created, along with, it was from the Nigerian Steel Development Authority. Other steel companies were created along. In any case, so now a contract was signed with the Russian company, Tajprom Exports, TPE for short. And unfortunately, when the new government came in 1979, some sponsors of Shagari decided that they needed to get their money back. And that was how the civil works was broken into three. Of course, the main contract was supply of the steel plant was Russian, but the civil works, the civil works are very serious, but they even cost as much as the steel plant itself, because some of the foundations which the civil works create are 3 stories deep. But that was broken into 3, as I said. One was the Julius Berger, lot 1, lot 2 was Fujirol, lot 3 was Dumais. These last two companies, Fujirol and Dumais, are French companies, and they ended up becoming the Achilles heel for the Ajakuta Steel project because they kept demanding for more money. I think, especially Fujirol. Fujirol was the one that was to take care of the sponsor that were complaining about losing money for the election. And every time they are given money, they would just use a little of it and then complain the money is finished. And that's why Ajakuta was delayed. In fact, if that contract had been given, that civil works contract had been given to Julius Berger, Ajakuta would have been completed on time. But because of this Achilles heel, this French involvement, the project was delayed, and eventually it's now hanging in the balance. It's now in a coma. So, and the reason I say that the French are not the friends of Nigerians. We have seen it in the Civil War, and now we are seeing it in even Bakassi. We lost Bakassi because of the French. So I don't know why we are involving the French in anything, because the French are not the friends of Nigeria. And we should try as much as possible to avoid them. I don't even know why we should reward them, for supporting Biafra. Why should we reward them with contracts? So I think the next government should take a careful look at the French and try to avoid them in anything, because they are not the friend of Nigeria. So I think we'll talk about this in detail later. Thank you. If you please like and comment and share. Thank you.